Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on this video tutorial I'm going to show you how easy it is to take a plain jean jacket, new, vintage, thrifted, or something that's been hanging out in the back of your closet for years, and turn it into something fabulous. So I have two examples to show you of my two jean jackets, and then we're going to be working on this one, which last time I was in Idaho to see my mom, who passed away, unfortunately, my sister sent me home with hers because she thought mine was so cute. She wanted me to do something with hers. So we're going to do it. I'm going to be headed back to Idaho at the end of this week for a celebration of life thing for my sweet mom, and I want to take my sister's jean jacket back to her with something cute on it. So you might notice, first of all, that the wash on this is really dark. That means that we need to use a light ink. And for hers, I'm going to use white. On mine, I have a dark and a light. So let me show you those first, and then we'll hop right in. Okay, this is my current jean jacket, which is super cute. I love it. Look at the sleeve, and look at the back. I did this design up high on the back part of this jean jacket, and this was one of the Magnolia Design Company craft club stencils. So it was an exclusive stencil that you can't get anymore. I think it was August. Anyways, that's an incredible thing to look into if you're not a member of my craft club yet. But I used black ink. My jacket's been worn a lot, and it's been washed and dried once. So this was a jean jacket that I got on sale, 40 or 50% off at my favorite store, which is Loft. All right, so that's one. This is one I made 3 or 4 years ago, and this one is an Old Navy jean jacket, and I used one of my favorite stencils of all time, the Mandela lace on the back. You might notice the difference is I didn't just do this center panel, I did the whole thing, and this was my first time doing a project like this, and so my ink was a little thick over the seams, but that was a large stencil, so I think it turned out pretty good. This is a super cute jacket. All right, so for my sister, there are a lot of options. Let me show you a few of them. And a lot of things that might appeal to me that maybe wouldn't appeal to her or wouldn't appeal to you. This is a cute stencil. It's called Forest, Folk Art Forest. Here is the Mandela lace, and just for fun, this is what these stencils look like after they have truly been loved and used. I bet you this one, it only has a little bit of stick left to it, but it still works. And it's all stained. I bet you I've used this one 50, 60 times. And this is one that's still not new, but I've also used it a lot, and they both work great. So the Mandela lace is a really versatile one. Or I could do my very favorite stencil of all time, Victorian pattern. Or for fun, if my sister was kind of one of those groovy type of people, or she loved, you know, throwbacks to the 1970s or something, I could do this all over mushroom pattern. This is an awesome one. This is my second favorite stencil, and it's called Filigree Leaf. All of these all over pattern stencils are so versatile. I could do the Tree of Life. Whoops. I mean, I could do a tartan plaid. Probably I wouldn't do a fa la la. I think I just pulled these all out. I could do, this is, oops, okay, well they're all on the floor. This one's called Dragon Pattern, or She Loved Fleur de Lis. There are so many to choose from. Okay, let me just scooch this out of the way. Okay, but I think what I've landed on is the all over cross pattern. I love that. I've done a lot of things with it. One of my favorite things that I did was make this Bible cover. It's just slip on, it's not glued to the Bible, using canvas duck. that I stenciled with black ink, and then I did a little Amazing Grace. And I did quite a few other projects with it, but I think that's what we're going to use. And then I'm going to think about possibly doing something on the front of one of the sleeves. So, but we're going to do this one a little bit different. We're just going to do the inside panel. So I am going to just kind of get it laid out as flat as possible. As you guys are hopping on, tell me that you're watching. And here's what I want to know. Have you ever stenciled the back of a jean jacket? If you have, I want to see pictures, and so does everyone else. So put them here in these comments, or just tell us and describe it. I'm going to use blue painter's tape to cover up the best I can these seams so that our design is just in this center part of the back of her jean jacket. So this is just blue painter's tape that I can't see where the start is. Here it is. And you can just kind of feel for where that is, but I think it's easier if you just cover it up, to be honest. Okay. So I'm just trying to line it up with where the stitching is. I want to get that pretty good. If this was for me, I might just rely that I could feel where the stitching of that seam was. But when it's something for someone else, you know, I just always want to be a little extra careful. What do you guys think about this project idea? Honestly, I've made so many t-shirts, and long sleeve and short sleeve. I've made a ton of sweatshirts. This is my third jean jacket. I've done jeans. There's a lot of fun things you can do for jeans. Yeah, and I love doing something fun on the sleeves, on t-shirts and on jackets and on sweatshirts. Okay. So I've got the two sides down. Carmen says she loves it. And just to let you know that when you're using a very light colored ink is what you want for a project like this, not chalk paste, and absolutely not paint. No paint. It will dry crunchy. It's not going to wear well. It's not going to feel comfortable. It's not going to launder well. And it will wreck your stencils. So no paint. You either want, well, you want ink for this type of a project. Always. Because it's going to need to be washed at some point. And once you heat set it with a hot iron, it's going to almost melt into the fabric. And it will be soft and comfy. You can... you know, I could stencil this in purple ink and heat set it and then sit down on a white couch and not be afraid that anything from my jacket would get on the couch or on a pillow. It's just, it is a no-brainer. Okay, so let me get this top part and then we'll plop our stencil on. And, oh, and what I was going to tell you, that I started to tell you and then I got myself distracted, is that when you're stenciling on something very dark, like this dark denim, with white ink, sometimes it's not going to appear super white. Sometimes it'll be a little more muted, and that's kind of what I'm expecting for this project. All right, so I'm going to take it off the backing. I'm not going to fuzz it on fabric before I use it on this fabric. That would make no sense. But I want to fiddle around with it for a little bit to get it There's one main cross in the back that I would really like to have I want it to be straight, that's the first thing. Okay, and I'm just looking at my design here. See, what do I want to do? Okay, well, a couple things that I don't want to do are, I don't want to do like this little spot right here. I'm going to just do pieces that are more, bits of crosses that are more full than that. So I'm going to take off just to remind myself, and I'll hold this up in just a second to show you. Okay, so I'll lift this up and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, for example, this teeny little bit right here of a cross is so small, I'm not going to do that. If it looks funny after, I can come back and redo it. But I think it'll look better if it doesn't have like minuscule little bits of crosses on here. If I wasn't talking while I was stenciling them, I might just try to remember what I'm doing. But, you know, when you're talking and stenciling, then I might forget. Okay, I'm just looking to see, are there any other bits that I don't want to do? Okay, so now I'm just going to get everything really pressed down nice and good. And like I said, we're using white ink. This would be a great, really fun project to do with teens or tweens. If you have a granddaughter or a daughter or niece, something like that, have her friends come over, grab, you know, a variety of stencils. There's some great ones that have, like this is really cute. Peace, love, Jesus. Get some ink and let them go to town on their jackets. I think that would be really fun. Also, I think these would make great gifts. So if you're looking to make some of your Christmas gifts, you can go to thrift stores and pick up some jean jackets for not a lot of money. Okay, so I'm just going to use a small cut apart squeegee, and I'm going to try to work in an organized fashion to cover each of my crosses. With another stencil like the Victorian pattern or the Mandela lace, I don't think it would be as important to block off certain parts of it. But with this project, I do think it makes a difference to you know, be deliberate about where you're putting your ink. I'm going to get everything covered that needs to be covered. And then I'm going to come back and just make sure everything is filled in good, and then scrape off the excess. Might seem like I'm going over and over and over, but I'm really not. I'm just working in very specific areas to make sure each cross is covered well. Okay, look how much excess I had. Any big blobs on here that I need to worry about? Okay. Let me wipe off my fingers before I touch it and get blobs of ink all over. Let's take a little peek. It looks awesome! I love the design of this stencil. Oh my gosh, that looks fabulous. Okay, I'm going to throw this in my tub over here. Push it under the water until I can get out to the kitchen to clean that off. And this is what it's going to look like. Now, if I wanted, I could come back later and add a little bit more up here. I could just scooch that stencil up to get a few more crosses up higher, because I was relying on the, I think that's 15 by 15. But I'm going to wait for it to be a little bit more dry to remove the blue tape. And then when it's fully dry, I will take an iron and my ironing board. I'll turn my iron onto cotton with no steam. I'll put a piece of parchment paper in between my jacket and my iron to protect my iron. Wait till it's fully dry, at least several hours. Better to wait overnight. And then I'll iron it for 3 or 4 minutes on the front on cotton, no steam. Flip it over 3 or 4 minutes on cotton, no steam on the back. And it'll be fully washable, fully wearable, fully dryable, fully enjoyable. Every time I wear these jackets, I get a ton of compliments. People say, "Where'd you get your jacket?" And I'm like, "I made it." We're like, "Oh, no kidding. Really, how?" So this one, I did the back and I did it up high. There's a lot of different ways you could do jean jackets. Also, I put some of these cute little flowers down by the cuff of the right arm. So, and you can do all kinds of fun stuff. You can do some right down here, you know, on the lower hip. You can do jeans. You can do like right here. You can do pockets. You can do stuff at the bottom of the legs. All kinds of things. So I think my sister, hopefully she won't watch this video, but I think she'll be surprised and she'll be happy with how it turned out. And it'll just, this is going to go with everything. This was the first one that you saw when you started following it, says Mary. Aw, started following this channel, me. Awesome. Anyways, well, I hope this encouraged you, that this is not hard. It's not hard at all. And that you can really make something that's completely plain Jane, or that came from a thrift store or the back of your closet. Or look, if you have grown sons, look in their closets, look in your husband's closet. Ask around, does anyone have a denim jacket that they don't wear anymore? And you can make something that's old, really fabulous and new. So, let me know if you would like a link to any of the supplies that I used, and I'll just list everything out. Or if you want to see this replay again, maybe if you missed the beginning and you didn't hear all about how to do it. Share with us if you've done a jean jacket. I know several of you guys have. And if you have pictures, please consider putting them here in these comments. You can also put them over on that group page that I have, the free group set up for us, which is called Dreamy DIY. It's a free group where you guys can share pictures of your craft projects, which is fun to get a ton more ideas, and to have people be excited and to be encouraged about what you're doing. So I don't know, there's just something about sharing creativity that makes it all the more special. So somebody's just been saying, I've been trying to decide what she wants on her jacket. I know it's hard to decide. When I was getting ready to do this, I was so tempted to go out and buy a new jean jacket for myself, but I'm like, I already have two. So I'm always looking at thrift stores. How do you thin ink that's really thick? Same way as with chalk paste, use a little bit of distilled water and stir. Yeah. Oh, Mary, I'm so glad I inspired you. Hi, Christine. Okie dokie. Well, you guys have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. Be looking here later for pictures. And let me know if you would like a complete supply list and the replay. Do a this or a this. It's a heart. Say something to me in the comments. Feel free to sprinkle, blah, 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 blah. Okay, see you guys later. Bye. If I can find the button. Thank you for sprinkling.